Here is the sneaker in all its glory. The Travis Scott Jordan 4 Cactus Jack. Retail is $225 and the official release date is June 9th, which is this Saturday. So Travis Scott is from Houston, and this is Houston Oilers inspired with the baby blue and red. Shouts to Warren Moon, old school Tings, Earl Campbell. A lot of you may not know the Oilers because they are the Tennessee Titans now. But that was Travis Scott's favorite team growing up, and I think it's cool that he paid homage. Baby blue suede, some speckles. It's almost like a lightly waxed lace that they used. Red interior, and one of my favorite touches, the Cactus Jack on the left heel and Travis Scott on the back of the tongue, and then the Jumpman logo with the standard Air Jordan on the back of the right tongue. Same on the hang tag, Jumpman logo on one side, and it's dope because it's raised up. It's not just inked into the suede, just another cool touch. And then on the other side, you have Cactus Jack. One quick thing to note, quality is really good on these. This suede is way better than what we would normally get on a Jordan Retro. Way better. This is softer than a kangaroo pouch, but on the flip side of that, or I should say because of that, they are going to crease terribly. It's inevitable. They're already creasing a little bit. They came pre-creased, and that comes with the territory when you get that good quality. Super soft suede, really good leather, it all creases. Me personally, a sneaker that looks worn doesn't bother me. I intend to wear these a lot. I like them that much. I like the way they rolled it out. I like that Travis Scott used things that were a part of him, Houston, where he's from, his Cactus Jack label. It just feels doper that way. With a lot of the OVO Drake Jordans, and not to go off on that whole tangent, but they looked cool. There didn't seem like there was that much to them. White and gold with an owl. I felt like they could have done more, especially because they were using that same thing over and over again. They could have done more. This feels like more, to me anyway. This is an update on the Jordan 4 Cactus Jack after 75 days of wearing. The pros and the cons. These are my favorite kind of videos, or my favorite kind of review videos, I should say. The infamous update. We always show you and talk sneakers as we get them, but how about actually reviewing and testing the sneaker? How about actually putting them through a little bit of life? How about living in them a little bit? That's what we do with these updates, and when I say live in them, I mean wearing them pretty much every single day, not a few times over the course of a month. L-I-V-I-N, living. Be a whole lot cooler if you did, man. Moving on, this is one of my favorite Jordan releases of the year. I've said that a few times over now. I love this sneaker. I bought these, wore the crap out of them, and these things have seen more wear than a thrift shop. They really have. 2.5 months pounding the pavement. How did they hold up? Very well, actually. Very, very well. A lot better than I expected. When this sneaker first released, a lot of people were complaining about the quality. Or I guess craftsmanship is a better word. For me, I wasn't mad at the quality at all. This suede is buttery soft compared to most retros. Supposedly some pairs had a bunch of glue and different flaws, but my pair isn't too bad. What's funny is they came pre-creased right out of the box. They already had creases on them, I think because the suede is just really, really soft. So these were pre-creased. But believe it or not, they haven't creased all that much more. And I'm not a guy who cares about creases that much anyway. I guess it depends where the creases are or what shoe it is. But for the most part, I think creases add a little bit of character. Buckets has even worked out in this sneaker. I mean, he's done split squats in this sneaker. We've really put these through hell. The shoe has gotten more comfortable over time. You know, when you think about retros, that's always a concern. Typically retros aren't very comfortable, but because it's such a soft sneaker, it really has pretty good comfort right out of the box, and as you break them in, like I said, they get even more comfy. So that's definitely a pro. These have gotten rained on, they've gotten beat up, and they still look good. The suede is still soft, the blue is still vibrant. You can tell from the bottom of this shoe that they've seen some rough days, but the upper is still in really good shape. It's a good shoe. I mean, they're good out of the box, but I'd argue that they're even better after a couple months of wearing, which is why actually wearing your sneakers is a good idea, because eventually they're gonna fall apart, even if they're sitting in a box. All sneakers have a lifespan, so you might as well let them live. Let yourself live. Lace them up, have fun, create memories, and let sneakers be a part of that. The end. That's pretty much the update. It's mostly pros, not very many cons. The only con that I can think of is that they crease up a bit. That's all we have on the update. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you very, very much.
So as you can see, it comes in the standard Air Jordan 4 OG inspired box with the nice box lid. Let's move that to the side. The black plastic wrap. And here it is. This is the Air Jordan 4 Retro. As you can tell, it is a nice university blue, black, and red colorway, and that's actually inspired by the Houston Oilers. It's a former NFL franchise that have since moved on to become the Tennessee Titans. So this is a nice touch for Houston fans because he is from Houston and he is a big sports fan. You have the nice suede upper on the university blue, the black white midsole. You have the speckling print on the wings as well as the lace eyelets and even the heel. The right shoe has just the standard Jumpman with the speckling print. Turn it around once again and you have much of the same. You have the university blue suede, university blue midsole, and the speckling on the wings. On the left shoe is where things get a little bit more interesting. So first of all, it comes with a leather hang tag that says Cactus Jack, that's his logo. And on the other side you have the Jumpman. And most of the upper is pretty much the same, but of course, if you take a look at the heel, you'll see that on the right shoe you have the Jumpman, and on the left shoe you have Cactus Jack. So you've seen some other versions with Nike Air on the heel and like black leather lining, but this is the retail pair. It says Cactus Jack on the left shoe, Jumpman on the right shoe. The inner tongue label says Air Jordan on the right shoe, and on the left shoe you have Travis Scott in your typical upside down fashion. Look at the laces, shows slightly like a waxy finish, but otherwise that's pretty much the shoe as a whole. A quick shot of the sole right here on the white areas. It's not quite like a solid white, it's almost like a opaque, like a milky white. Of course you have the red Jumpman, and of course the rest of the outsole is a solid black rubber. But much of the details on this Air Jordan 4 is pretty standard to the original. You have the standard netting. The Jumpman on the tongue has a Jordan Flight logo with, it's like a silvery gray kind of threading embroidery. And of course the inside air unit is also red. So a quick shot of the insoles shows a Jumpman logo on the left shoe and a Cactus Jack logo on the right shoe. So they kind of switched that around. So yeah, this is one of the more sought after shoes of June. You know, June is going to be a heavy month, and this is definitely started things off right again.
So typical Air Jordan 4 box, and you see right there we got the Air Jordan 4 Retro University Blue Black. Retail on these US dollar is 225 bucks. The lid, typical Air Jordan 4 lid, nothing special there. You got your wax paper for your Air Jordan 4s, and then we got the kicks. This clear outside 4K visual with the iPhone. And I mean, these are just as buttery as the pair at Chicago Emporium. Let's start with the outsole of the shoe, like a clear translucent sole. You got your red Jumpman right here, and you got your black outsole going along that translucent pods. You got a white and blue midsole right here. It's kind of like a sky blue. They call it university blue, but this colorway doesn't remind me of UNC. Maybe I should go get a UNC color just to compare the blues, but this doesn't remind me of UNC. This is more like a sky blue colorway. And you have your Jordan hang tag right here. You got your Jumpman on the one side, and on the other side you got Cactus Jack. Okay, now one of my subscribers had comment the only real Cactus Jack is Mick Foley. which is true. That's the only real Cactus Jack, okay, for my WWE fans. Starting with the heel tab on your left shoe, you got your Cactus Jack, and on your right shoe, you got your signature Jumpman. I'm sure that the splatter won't be the same. It won't be universal on all pairs. Just how you have your Air Jordan 7s and all the tongues don't match, you know, your neighbor's pair or your best friend's pair, etc. Now we got your wings. You got your splatter paint on the wings also. And you got your black netting, and behind your black netting you have like a blue mesh behind your black netting on both sides and on your tongue. You also got this splatter paint right there on the bottom of your eyelet wings, so they're on that side also. Now let's talk about that suede on the shoe, you know, because Jordan brand has been up to par with the suede and the nubuck. Buttery on these also, you know, they're not disappointing us as far as the suede goes on the Jordans that's been released. So again, I'll give Jordan brand a pat on the back for the suede that they've been having on the Jordans as of lately. Look at that, butter suede on these joints. Now your shoelaces, not typical shoelaces. These are like wax laces. They kind of feel like the laces that came with like your Air Jordan 4 premiums. So they are giving you, you know, that quote-unquote premium material. So for your sock liner on your Travis Scotts, on your right pair, you have Cactus Jack going down. So it's going to be the complete opposite. Where you got your Jumpman, on your insole is going to say Cactus Jack. And where you have Cactus Jack on the other shoe, you're going to have the Jumpman with the splattered paint. So make sure that that matches up on your shoes. On your left shoe, you should have Travis Scott behind the tongue, and it should be reversed just like your Air Jordan is on the right shoe. So just little things right there to look after when you do get your pair in hand. I feel like they executed the shoe well, but you know, it's honestly a lot more pairs than we expected. So definitely expect to see some factory flaws, some glue staining, some, you know, creasing maybe here or there. These not as limited as everybody expected, but they won't just, you know, be easily available. You still got to put your footwork in to actually obtain the shoe.
Now, the Jordan 4 silhouette is considered as one of the most favorable shoe model in the Jordan line. And looking at these in hand, the University Blue colorway on this iconic model just added a strong vintage lift and flashiness to it. However, they do look duller or toned down in person in hand, and not as bright or vivid as the blue seen in the images online. The whole upper is made out of suede, and by touch, although it didn't feel very furry, it still does change color as soon as I brush against it. Additionally, to combat heat that's trapped inside such a thick leather layer, we will continue to see the staple mesh window with a netted finish at the side panel to allow airflow. Other than that, both the lateral and medial side of the shoe looks identical to each other for that uniform look. Also for Jordan 4s, the silhouette distinguishes itself uniquely with its ankle support lacing cages, as seen on the side surface of the shoes. They've added a speckled pattern on this plastic caging as an extra creative touch as well. Hanging off the shoes, we'll see a hang tag with the Jumpman logo on one side and then Cactus Jack on the other. Then looking at the shoes from up top, we will see that they've brought out wax laces to accompany this collab. These laces not only lace through the aforementioned cages, but also through the leather upper for that firm and lockdown fit. Then under these laces, we will see a large standing blue suede tongue with the Jumpman and Flight branding patch stitched right on it. And if we continue looking downwards, the tongue changes back to mesh for better ventilation, protected by the netted finish on top. Just like the original Jordan 4s, few more brandings will be spotted on the shoe by simply flipping the tongues over. Travis Scott's name will be seen on the left internal tongue, while Air Jordan is seen on the right. Taking a look at the back of the shoes, the speckled pattern returns again on the plastic heel pull. However, logo-wise, we will see a mismatching design with the Jumpman logo embossed on the right shoe, while Travis's Cactus Jack logo is seen on the left. These two logos will again be seen on the insole of these sneakers, but they will switch sides, where the Cactus Jack logo is seen on the right insole now and the Jumpman logo is on the left. The insole is decorated in red with a speckled pattern and are removable, but that would require you to rip them out as they are somewhat glued down to the midsole. Internally, the area around the back is heavily cushioned at the wall lining. This lining is also finished with a red surface that also peaks above the collar of the shoes, so we won't just see the baby blue but also subtle hints of red as well. As for the midsole, it's the same foam technology used on previous 4s with visible air cushioning at the heel. The heel window is see-through, so we'll witness some supportive pillars in red raised inside. The midsole is also hand painted in white and blue on the outside, which is very apparent with its brushstrokes and air bubble residues. Finishing the close-up of the shoe is this black rubber outsole of the sneakers. But if we flip the shoes over, the outsole is not completely dark, as we'll see the center portion embedded with a translucent rubber sole. This outsole is heavily patterned to maximize grip on the floor with one last Jumpman logo in red at the midfoot area. Anyways, here are some Air Jordan 4 Cactus Jack by Travis Scott fit footage. Sizing wise, I bought these on my true to size and they fit well. If you have wide feet though, you may feel this model is a little bit tighter at the forefoot and midfoot area when compared to Jordan 1s and 3s. I don't think it's necessary to go up half a size, but if you are a wide footer like me, we may just have to suck it up on this model. Comfort wise, because it's using the same technology used in the past, it does not have that soft cushioning that people love at present times now. Although I love the color blocking, the craftsmanship was just all over the place on this one. I was able to see a few pairs and most of them looked messy. I've seen suede with scratches and stains, and my pair has loose threads and the regular glue marks spilling over the edges. The QC could be better in my opinion, especially on a collab. But in Toronto, it seems like the Jordan store downtown had a bunch of pairs in stock came opening day. Although the lineup started a whole day before its release, there were so many pairs that I've heard if you lined up a few hours before they opened, it was still possible to grab a pair, so it wasn't extremely limited as I had thought. So let me know if you grabbed a pair, or you sat this one out or took an L.
The entire upper is covered in this baby blue short suede or nubuck material. It's definitely not the most premium feeling material in the world, but it's not bad. I really like how the nubuck serves to flatten the color, and I think that in and of itself gives the shoe a more premium look. Continuing up the shoe onto the tongue, you've got your standard Air Jordan 4 netting in black. Underneath the netting, you've got this baby blue mesh that matches with the nubuck upper. I really like the way they made the netting and the mesh two different colors. I think that gives the shoe a very unique look. Just above that, you've got these really nice flat wax black laces. The nice thing is that the wax isn't layered on too heavily, so that the laces still get a nice shine without being too stiff. Holding the laces in place, you've got your signature Air Jordan 4 plastic eyelets. This time around, they come in matte black with sort of navy blue splatter print. The paint splatter is a slightly darker shade of blue than the rest of the upper, but I actually think that provides a really nice subtle accent between the paint splatter and the nubuck upper. Of course, at the top of the laces, you've got another signature Air Jordan 4 detail with this extended plastic eyelet. At the top of the tongue, you've got more baby blue nubuck, and then right in the middle, you've got this thick nubuck patch with the Jumpman embroidered in silver. On the back of the tongue of both sneakers, you've got your standard Air Jordan 4 sock liner material, this time in black. Both sides of the pair have upside down patches as we've come to expect from the Air Jordan 4. The right side has a blue Air Jordan patch and the left side has a white Travis Scott patch. Moving inside the sneaker, the rest of the sock liner comes in this sort of deep red, and one of my favorite details on the sneaker is how the sock liner sort of peeks over the edge of the shoe, so even when you're wearing the sneaker, you still get a nice hit of red. The insole of the shoe also comes in that same red with blue splatter print, and then rounding off the insole on the heel, on the left side you've got the misplaced Jumpman, and on the right side you've got the Cactus Jack text. Continuing back on the sneaker towards the midfoot, you've got more of that black netting and blue mesh. And then finally moving around to the heel of the shoe, you've got your black pull tab with blue splatter print. On the right shoe, you've got the Jumpman in red, and on the left shoe, you've got everyone's favorite detail of this collaboration, the Cactus Jack text in red. Continuing down on the shoe, you get to this bold black, white, and baby blue midsole. The front half of the midsole comes in this semi-gloss or glossy black rubber. Of course, you've got your matte pop of white towards the midfoot, and as you continue back on the shoe, you get to your matte white and matte baby blue accents. And rounding off the midsole in the heel, you get to your iconic exposed air unit with red pillars. One thing that I've noticed about this midsole, and you've probably noticed about other Jordan brand sneakers, is that most of these midsoles are hand painted so you can actually see the brush strokes. And on this particular pair, the brush strokes aren't overly obvious, but they are definitely there. And finally moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you get to this black outsole with semi-translucent milky white pods. And of course, your red Jumpman rounding off the bottom. Overall, I've gotta say the Cactus Jack Air Jordan 4 is definitely a contender for sneaker of the year, in my opinion. The Air Jordan 4 silhouette is a classic and it's extremely comfortable. While some of you have pointed out that baby blue isn't my favorite color, I think in this color blocking and this material usage, it looks great. And of course, the blue splatter print and the red Cactus Jack detailing just makes this shoe pop.
Cactus Jack Air Jordan 4, retail $225. I want to show you 5 different Air Jordan 4s just to show you the difference in the materials, just so you can see that there's so many ways to make this shoe look dope. Let's start with the 2016 White Cement 4. Classic OG vibe and a very, very hard colorway to beat. Peep the white leather. The quality's okay, but it is what it is. Now let's take it to the 2013 Toro Bravo Air Jordan 4. This one is very, very similar to the Cactus Jack, except for the nubuck is very, very, very thin. On to one of the most hyped sneakers of 2017, the Air Jordan 4 Cos. These come with a crazy cool gray suede upper and a nice suede midsole, a nice leather sock liner, and a glow-in-the-dark sole. You can tell they put in extra time when they made this sneaker. Definitely a little bit better than the Cactus Jack. Now let's take it to the top tier on grails for the leather materials and just overall unique design. The Air Jordan 4 Oregon. Now if you look at this leather, the leather is tumbled and amazing. Yes, these shoes are great. Obviously it's an exclusive sneaker and not because of the hype, but the shoe is actually really, really dope. So as you can see in the differences in colors and materials, obviously they all have unique ways to being clean and classy, whatever you may be, but there's just so many options when it comes to this shoe. And I think they have another hit with this Cactus Jack Air Jordan 4 right here. Now let's take it to the back tabs. Here's something I have a major problem with. Bro, look at the right foot where the Jordan sign is. The shoe is lopsided. The tab is not even correct. I mean, come on, look right here. You see that? Now let's look at the white cement pair. You see how it's even and linear and everything's on point? Let's go back to the Cactus Jack. Look at the corner again. Damn! Bruh, what is this? I mean, come on, man. Sloppy. But I'm not even gonna trip. I got the shoe, so I guess I can't be too mad. Alright, back to the review. So if you look at the Toro Bravo pair, you can see obviously that has a Jordan logo here. On the Cos, you have the X's on the back. On the Oregon, you have the O on the back. And then on the White Cement, you have the Nike Air on the back. 5 different shoes, 5 different materials, 5 different back tabs. All of them dope and unique in their own ways. To finish it off, if you didn't see in the intro, on the Cactus Jack tag here, you have the Cactus Jack and then you have the Jumpman logo. And also on the sole, they have a milky white sole, super clean. It's kind of like an ice. And then you have red on the sock liner and the Air unit. And then also on the insole, you have the Jumpman opposite of the Cactus Jack, the Cactus Jack opposite of the Jumpman.
Tried to take my shoe? Get that motherfucker, get him. Come on.